All right, paper 1, mathematical literacy, May, June 2025. All right. Question 1. The table below shows comparative prices for data bundles of 3 selected service providers. Here we have Telecom, MTN, and Smart Mobile, with different amounts for different amounts of data. Okay, the first one, it talks of 100. It talks of 100 MBs, and this is how much you pay for telecom, this is how much you pay for MTN, and this is how much you pay for mobile, sorry, smart mobile. Then let's go on and we see 1.1.1. Identify the service provider that is the cheapest for both 500 MBs and 100, cheapest for both 500 and 1 gig. So we are here. Which one is the cheapest? We have this, we have that, and we have that. Indeed, it's this other one here. So here the answer is supposed to be smart mobile. Okay. Question number 1.1.2. Calculate the total cost for 500 MB data bundles purchased from MTN at 3 different times during a single month. So what we're going to do, how much is in under MTN, how much is, it's this much. Look at that. You're looking at 500 MB, 500 MB. So we're going to say 75 times 3. And the answer becomes 75 times 3. You get your answer as 225. 225 rands. Then determine the cost per megabyte, which is MB, if you purchase 1 gigabyte from Telecom. Now, take note, if you purchase 1 gigabyte, so you change a gigabyte to megabytes. And they have told us 1 gigabyte has 1,000 meg, so we shall say 1,000 MBs equals to how much in Telecom. So we are looking at that. Telecom will charge 100 rands. So we say for 1,000 MBs, we have 100 rands. But the question wants cost per megabyte. That means we are dividing through by megabyte. So we divide by 1,000 this side. How much will 1 megabyte cost? Megabyte cost per megabyte. This is it. So 100, which becomes 10 cents per megabyte. Okay. Probability of randomly selecting a service provider selling 100 MBs data bundle for 20 rand is 2 out of 3. Convert the probability to a decimal number correctly rounded off to 2 decimal places. Here we bring in your calculator. Just press 2 over 3, press equals. It's this much. We want decimal places. So this simply means it's recurring. What are we going to do? So this one is the same as 0.66666. But they said to do decimal places, that means it's going to stop here. These ones have to go off. These are off or out. So leaving us with 0.67. Okay, that was supposed to be the answer there. 1.2, the government employee medical scheme. Government employee medical scheme, the GEMS, has different options for its members. Two of more affordable options are BL options and Ruby options. Table below, it shows the monthly contribution per salary bracket in rands for main member and dependents. So let's go down there and we see. Identify the option where a person earning a monthly salary of 30,000 Someone earning a monthly salary of 30,000, you understand? 30,000 pays the same amount for both the main member and the adult dependent. First and foremost, we shall come here. We can check because now A, this is the main member, and B is the adult dependent. So we are looking for the place whereby here we have the same amount, we have the same amount. And the person earns 30,000, actually it's supposed to be here and here. These are different. So let's look up here. We have this and this. So which option is it? We are going to say it's C, BL. Identify the option. So we are saying the option is BL. This was the option. Option 1. Okay, write down the monthly salary bracket for a person who pays 3,540 as the main member. So we are looking for 30,540. Wow, here we are as a main member. So they're telling us the bracket. So you're going to write this much. 15,800. 15,000 because they're asking for the bracket. Write down the monthly salary bracket. So it's from 15,822, 15,822, 15,822 to 27,324. We are writing down the bracket. Go to the number there. A person earns a gross monthly salary of 14,000. He is a main member of the medical scheme aid and uses the option, which is option 1. He has one adult dependent and 2 children. So how many people are those altogether? They are 4. So let's see, calculate the total monthly contribution. So as the person now, first 14,000 using the first option. So 14,000, we shall come here, 14,000. The bracket is this one here. So the first person is going to pay this much. The second person is paying that much plus this times 2. Why have we chosen this? Because the person earns this much per month. 14,000. So let's calculate. So 1,600, 1,600, 1,600 1,690, sorry, 1,669, 1,669 plus the adult dependent, 1,656, 1,656 plus the 2 children, which each child will take 952. 952. I was checking. This is not supposed to be there. This is a number that we are looking at. So put this in your calculator and you find out how much. Why are you multiplying by 2? Because there are 2 children after these 2 people. So we shall pick our calculator here. We put the money there. 1,669 plus 1,656 plus 2 times 952 press equals 5,200, 5,229, 5,229. What were they looking for? The monthly contribution. This is it, the monthly contribution. Why do we say that this is the monthly contribution? When you look at the table, it tells us all the values here are monthly contributions. Monthly contributions per monthly salary bracket. for two different options. Calculate the difference in contributions between the BL and Ruby options for the main whose monthly salary is 15,800. What's the difference? When we look at this difference here, we know we are going to subtract. So what's the difference? We are looking is the difference between these two. If someone earns someone earns 15,800. So what's their main members? So we go to the table and we see. For BLE, the person pays this much. So we shall write 3,440. Then for sorry, that was Ruby. Then for BLE, it's this much because it falls in this 1,821. What's the difference there? So we are saying 15,800 is fine. 15,800, 3,540 minus 1,821. 1,821. Pick that, put in your calculator. Don't look around. Don't overuse your brain. Please just go straight forward. Then it's 1. So the difference is 1,719. 1,719. 1,719. Then we continue and we see 1.3. Below shows an actual and projected percentage changes for certain economic indicators in South Africa from 2023 to 2026. Common indicators. This calls for inflation. Define the term inflation. The inflation, what we need to know is the general increase in what? In the prices of goods, services. The general increase in prices of goods and services, we call it inflation. The money goes up. State whether the percentage given in the table are discrete or continuous percentage given. Now, the moment you see commas, the value becomes continuous. The percentage becomes continuous. So here we have it's continuous. Continuous. Write down the projected percentage change for exports during 2025. Write down the projected percentage change for exports during 2025. Exports, we are looking at percentage change for exports during. The percentage change for 2025, it's 2.5 as the answer. 2.5. Arrange or write down. Arrange in descending order the projected percentages of 2016. We're going to do descending order, descending big to small. So we shall go to our percentages, we look at that. So here, allow me, number 1 will be the biggest, which is 4.6, followed by 3.6, followed by 3.2, followed by 3. Sorry, this is a negative. It can't be. So we are followed by 2.6, 1.8. Finally, we have 1.7. And the final answer becomes negative 3,0. So descending order we are showing. So now, having done that, we write them down. So descending order 2026, we shall start with 4,6. In descending order, we are writing this 4,6. We have 3,6, 3,2, 3,0, 2,6, 1,8, 1,7. Then finally we have negative. Identify 2 years in which the projected percentage change for inputs remained the same. Here we are. Inputs remained the same. We have this and this. You see? So the year is 2025, 2026. 2 years. That's talking about this. And those are the 2 years. This brings us to the question. End of question number 1. So 2.3. Someone lives in Deben, a city in Tekwini municipality. Table 4 below indicates the tariffs for domestic water consumption supplied by the Itakwini municipality for 3 years for February. They're telling you these are the tariffs that we have here. By the way, the moment you see these tariffs, in most cases, anyway, we shall explain that as we go on. We have the first one 0 to 6, 6 to 25, 25 to 30, 30 to 45, and more than 45. Take note, all tariffs exclude VAT. So define the term tariff in the given context. Remember, the context is the story that we're looking at. What could be tariff? A tariff is a charge per unit. So in this case, it would be charge. It's a charge per kiloliter because we're talking about water. Together, calculate the amount including VAT which Ferreira paid for consuming or for using 32 kiloliters of water during February 2024. Now, when you come here, we have February 2023. No, February 2023. So February 2022, that's the first one. No. February 2023, no. So the values or the calculations that we're going to use are these ones here. But remember, we are dying to calculate for 32 kiloliters. With the 32 kiloliters, we need the first 6. You see that? Now, what about, because 32 it will belong here. By how many? 32 has exceeded 30 by 2. So here we have 2. What about these 2 here? Because here we've got 6. Okay. Then what about from 6 to 25? That would be 19. Because you're going to take 25 minus 6, you remain with 19. These are 19 kiloliters in bracket number 2. Then from 25 to 30, we have 5. What are you going to do? You're going to say 6 multiplied by that, 19 times that. Then we have our 5 times that. And the 2 that has exceeded the 30 has to come here. So what you're going to do, get the answer there we have. This is 0, 0. Then 19 times 27,8. 19 times 27,8. We have 500. 528, 20 cents. Then we have 5 times 37,90, which became 189,50 cents. Then 2 times 83, which became 167.20 cents. And that's where we end. So what do? You add up these values. So we're going to add our values that we've just got, 500, 528.20 cents plus 198.50 cents plus 167.20 cents. So when we add up this value here, we shall have 884 rands 90 cents. Remember, this value has to include VAT. Look at that. It has to include VAT. So you see, the question says including VAT. So we've got our answer as 884 rands 90 cents. How do we include VAT? We multiply by 1,115. So let's multiply by 1,115. And the final answer we have is 1,017 rands 64 cents. 1,017 rands 64 cents. Let's look at question number 3. Question number 3. All right, then what we're going to do is here now. Question number 3.1. They're telling us the Education Facility Management System report outlines the overview summary of the school infrastructure across all 9 provinces in South Africa. Table 5 below shows the data indicating schools' access to electricity and the source of electricity. Some values have been omitted. Okay. Here we have the provinces, the number of schools, then different sources of electricity. Some use generators, others have solar, then others, they use what? The grid, like the normal electricity that we know. All right, note, grid connection is electricity supplied by Eskom. Some schools use more than one source of electricity. Write down the province that has the second highest number of schools that use solar power. So now, when you come here, what happens? We are looking at number of schools that use second. So we shall come to solar and look for the, so which one is the highest? We have 5. This is the highest. Second highest is this one. And it's indeed KwaZulu Natal. KwaZulu what? Natal. KwaZulu Natal. KZN. Okay. Calculate in simplified form the ratio of schools using generators. Remember, we are looking at the ratios now. Simplified form. What you're going to do, first and foremost, what you have to know about ratios, write down what they want you to do. So they're saying ratios of schools using generators in Eastern Cape to schools using generators in Northern Cape. So EC versus NC. Under what? Under generators. Now we shall come here. Eastern Cape has, these are the generators, 231. Northern Cape has, Northern Cape, where are you? Northern Cape has what? 11. So we shall do that. It's 231 to 11. 231 to 11. Now, the other way of finding this source, pick your calculator. Guess what happens? Take the 11, then put it over to 31. So now the 21 will go to the place of, and here we shall have what? 1. And the simplified form. That's done. You see how it is? You see on top here, we have 11. So 11 goes with 1. 21 goes with 231. And you're done. Simplified form using your calculator. Nothing much, nothing less. How, I think the 3 marks we shall give you, 1, 2, and your answer. These are important. Were you able to identify them? Okay, here we go. The mean number of schools connected to the grid is 2,333,3333. You see that? These are commas. So, calculate the missing value A, number of schools connected to the grid in Mpumalanga. So, A is missing. Someone would have told us, you know what? This A here. This A could be like, because here we say Mpumalanga, these are the number of schools in Mpumalanga. Look at that. We have this much. But then when they are distributed, you know, when we add this, because it does not add up. Even here, when you add this plus that, you don't get the same answer as this much. You understand? So now another thing is that if they've given you, they have already mentioned the mean. What you have to ask yourself, how did they get the mean? So mean, we add all the numbers and we divide. So when they added all the normal numbers, sorry, when we added all the numbers, they got this. When they added all the numbers divided by 9, they got this other answer here. They got this answer here. So what are we going to do? Let's add the normal numbers that we have here apart from A to get the answer there. So we say 4,000 4,441 plus 945 plus 2,064 plus 5,068 plus 3,470 plus 525 plus 1,421 plus 1,452 equals. So this when we add the normal numbers, this is the answer that we get. You see that? We get 19,386. So what we're going to do, we shall say the 19,386 plus the A, because A is missing, divided by 9 to give them the answer as this much. Because we want to remove the 9, multiply by 9 on both sides, and the same 9 has to multiply this side. So what you remain with, 2,300, 2,300 333,333 times 9 equals to but then this is approximately, it's approximately 21 what? Because if you round off this value here, because here the calculator will give you that 999 continuous, and if you round off, it will give you this much. Becomes 21,000. So what does it simply mean? It will become plus A equals to 21,000. Because we're looking for A, this has to jump over there. We shall minus. So 21,000 21,000. So it becomes 21,000 minus 19,386. So the value of A became 1,614. This is the value of A. Okay. Verifying, showing all calculations. Okay. Let's look at the other one there. This was the value of A. Value of A. Daniel stated that Gauteng represented the province with the median number of schools using solar panels. Median. The moment you hear median, arrange the numbers. Let's go and we see solar panels. So we're going to arrange the number here. Smallest to biggest. Smallest to biggest. Solar panels. Which one is the smallest? Which one is the biggest? Anyway, on our solar panels, we have number 1. 1 is a smaller number. Our first number is the 1. Then we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there are 9 numbers. 9 divided by 2, you end up having 4,5. That means the number in the 5th place will take the median. Let's see our number 5. Yes, indeed. 6 is the median because it's in position number 5. So, Gauteng. So here what they wanted you to do is to arrange those numbers nicely and you confirm, like you look for median and indeed it's what? And you have to come up with a statement and you say, it's what? Valid. It's correct. All right. State, because state whether, or calculations whether his statement is correct. His statement is correct. We've just seen that. All right. One of the biggest sources of revenue for the government is income tax, which is used for the government expenditure. So they're telling us, write down the debit service cost expenditure for 2023 in words without using numerals. Numerals simply means numbers. So in words, 2023, remember, these values are in billions. And a billion is to the power 9. 10 to the power 9. It's a billion. You understand? So if it's to power 12, becomes a trillion. Power 6 is a million. Anyway, now they want us to write the word, but take note, this is for debit service cost expenditure in 2023. Debit, that's the first thing you're going to do. Debit in 2023, it's this much. But this number here, you have to turn it into figures and that you know what you're dealing with. How do we turn it into figures? So you get that number, multiply by 10 to the power 9, and the answer becomes 3, 5, 6, 1. Of the zeros, that one of them has to go. So you remain with this much. So what we're going to do in words now, we shall say 356 billion. What else? 100 million. That's the answer there. That's the answer. Calculate the value of B, which is what we are looking at. By the way, you can also ask yourself, how did they get this value here? This value here, They added all the values they got. But then look at where B is. That means how did they get this? So they add onto this, they add this. Onto that, you get that. So what happens? So even as we're going to add the ones, these values up here, we're going to add these values. We get an answer here. Afterwards, we shall add these two, and we get the value of B. After, if we add, our numbers there, we get the answer. When we add all the values that we have up there, we get our answer as, we have our answer as 1,981,8. So we add now. Shall get that. We add these two. So meaning we are going to take 1,800 plus our 5 there, plus a 382,2. What answer do you end up having? 1981,8 plus 5 plus 382,2. So here the answer became 2,369. That's the answer that we have for the value of B. Determine in millions the total amount the government estimates to spend on social development and community development during 2025. Let's go there and we see. So they want us to look at this and that, but in which year? 2025 come. We have that plus this. Add it up. So when we add these values, what do we end up having? We have 385 plus 274,9. 9. So they are telling us you're going to add 385, so we have ended up having this much. But they said it should be in what? In a million. So to turn it into million, that means you're going to multiply by, remember they are billions. So let's first turn it into billion. Then we divide it by a million. That means we are going to remain with the three values. We're going to multiply by, this 1,000. So the answer here is going to be 659, this is a million. So this is the answer. Okay. 4.2. During 2004, 24 South African citizens were required to register to vote in 2024 elections. Table 7A below shows the number of voters recorded on the voters' roll on 19th March 2024 per age group and gender, while Table B shows the number of voters per province with some data omitted. Omitted meaning it's left out. Anyway, write down the age group which represents the maximum number of voters for both male and female. Age group maximum. What do they mean? But the highest. So here we come. It shows the highest. So here, let's check here. What's the highest value that we have here? It's this one here. Then let's come here and we look for the highest value. 3136. It's this one here. So the age group is what? It's 30 to 39. Okay, determine as a percentage probability of randomly selecting a male voter from the total number of voters. So what you're going to do first and foremost, find out the total number of voters. So total number of voters, we shall say 12. We shall add them up. Ne? We shall add them up. We say plus so we have this much. This is the total number of voters. So remember, the probability is to pick. The total number is to pick. So it's going to be the number of male voters who are these ones here over that number that we've just got. Probability of randomly selecting a male voter. So this is the total number of. They didn't tell us which province or which area. So it's straightforward. It will be that much. Probability there is supposed to be 4. Oh, they said as a percentage, sorry, multiply by 100. Multiply your answer as 100 and you have the probability as 44,76. Okay. Here they're telling us the range of the number of voters per province is 5,885,202. Calculate the missing value L if the Northern Cape had the lowest. Now, the moment you hear range, ask yourself, how did they get their range? Range is always the highest value minus the lowest value. So they have their range as 5 million. They have their range as 5 million. Range is 5,885,202. Which was good from the highest value, minus the lowest is the L. So let's go and look for the highest value here. And this value that you know you're looking for, this value, this is the lowest. So what's the highest? It's this one here, 6,542,000. So they took 6,542,033. They subtract the lowest. They got their answer as that much. You see that? So the range will come in and the L will come out. So our L will equal to 6,422,000, sorry, 42,033 minus 5,885,202. So what is the lowest value there? The lowest value. The lowest value here, our L became this much. That's the L. Describe the trend in the number of recorded female voters with regard to different age group. What is the change? When you look at the male voters, here we are. You know, when you look at it nicely, what's the trend? What do you see? A That's a trend. We can say the number keeps increasing. The number increases from age group 18 to 19 to 60 to 69 and starts dropping from 70 to 79 till 80 plus. You know, the trend, the change, you have to mention that. So you say age group from 18, age group 18 to that, to the other one, which is what? To 60, 69. 60 to 69. The number of voters is what? The number of what? Voters increases. The number of voters what? Increases. Then it drops from 70 onwards. Here the number does what? Decreases. That's the trend that I see. What is the change? That's what they were trying to ask you. Question number 5. Ivory Coast is a country in Western Cape. Sorry, in West Africa. Okay, Neo is the coach for the national soccer team on Ivory Coast. Today we have players A up to J. Yeah, their matches they've played and the number of goals. So identify a player who scored an average of exactly 1 goal for every match, every 3 matches played. So now take note. We need to look at the number here on average. So we look at the number that I saw this player I, because remember these are 3 matches. So we divide by 3. What do you get? 18. And in these 18 games, how many goals did he score? He scored 18. So this is exactly 1:1. 1:1. 1:1. So it's player I. Player I, then the same. Then we'll compare the player G with player C and made the following claim that player G had a better game played to goal scored ratio compared to C. What are we doing? Let's look at the players. We have G, we have C. G, how many games did he play? G, 30 games, and he scored 21 goals. What about C? C played 50 games and scored 28. So if you compare ratio to games, what could this be? Because I'm looking at scored compared players G and made the following claims. A better play to goal score. Who had a better? So let's see a better play. Because this is and then this one is C. Writing it in form. So this simply means in 10 games, he had 7 scores, whereas in 25, this one had 14 in 25. So G had a better play. Had he played almost the same, this means the number of goals would be up on average. Yeah, Neo earns an annual salary of 18,000 euros. The official currency in Ivory Coast is franc of the Western Community, ZOC. Then on 16th, 2024, the exchange rate was what? For €1, they had 650 ZOCs. Calculate Neo's monthly salary in. So now let's monthly salary. So what? Because this one is annual. This means throughout the year, the person earns this much. The question wants you to get monthly. What has to come in your head? Ask yourself, how much does he get in 1 month? So we shall do that first. We divide by 12. Don't lose marks that are obvious. So 18,000 divided by 12. You have 1,500. Now, this, you need to change it to ZOCs, which is €1. So this simply means we are going to multiply this by that much. So he earns 984,000 ZOCs. All right, here we go. Neo invested 2,500 for 30 months at a compound interest of 12.6 per annum, compounded annually. Calculate in euros the amount he receives at the end of the period. Now, when you hear this, we're going to split this calculation into two. One, because 30 months, change it into years. 30 months, when you divide this by, you end up having 2.5, which simply means it's 2 full years and 6 months. Half of a year. So what we're going to do, we shall calculate for 2 years. But the first thing you do, get 100%, add 12.6, you have 112.6, divide this by 100. So we have this much. You see that? So we shall ask in the 2 years. In the 2 years, how much will it be? So since it's 2 years, what we're going to do, we shall take the money the person invested, we shall multiply with our increment twice. Remember, it's compounded. Why? This first one is representing the first year. This is the second. Where do we get the 2 years? From the 30 months. We found out that we shall take 2 and so complete 2 years. How much will it be? Let's do that and we say so this becomes 2,815. Sorry, this is the first year. Then we are looking for the money at the end of the 2 years. So at the end of the 2 years, he has got a total amount of this much. So the 6 months, how are we going to do it? Since the 6 months is not a full year, we shall say 0.5 times the percentage there. What do we get? 0.5. So we have 6, so now this percentage is the one that we are going to deal with. So now it becomes 1,063. You see that? So how much will it be? And remember, we shall pick this money here, the one at the end of. So the final amount will be 3,169. comma 6,9, and the answer becomes 30,600. Don't forget these are what? Euros.